Let's have a conversation about feminine consciousness. Recently, we had an in-person Empowered Women soiree on full moon, and it was also a full lunar eclipse, so it was just our gathering just around that powerful time. And we had lots of experiential work, and we did lots of practices, and it was so beautiful to connect with these powerful women locally, right, in our physical body, outside, have wonderful food, drinks to share, have amazing conversations, and also combine it with some deep guided practices, deep sharing, circle around the fire. Also like releasing very specific things, going really deep with that, like practicing those rituals that we do on full moon, and also moving our body, being in the body, really activating our senses. So we were so occupied with doing all this experiential work that I didn't have enough time to share in the verbal form the concept, right, of feminine consciousness, feminine power. And it's not like I want to just talk about it on the theoretical level. I want to build that bridge between experiential, right, and logical, and like something that we can comprehend on the level of language. But I want language to be alive so we can feel it in our body, right? When I talk, I feel this feminine consciousness. I want to speak from that place, right? I want to share it from within, right? Like what is that? Like how is that different? So it's not like being in the box of our head, our mind. It's like feeling the sensations when we talk, when we connect, when you listen, right? So it's like being extremely present, perceiving all the energetic information, like taking it in, right? While feeling how your body responds to that and how your emotional body responds to that. So this is how I want to share this. So I promised to local ladies of our Empowered Women's Club here in Roseville, near Sacramento, I promised to make this video, and I believe this video can be very beneficial for many of you. So I intend to share it with everyone. So feminine consciousness, everybody talks about it these days, right? It's such a popular topic. Like everybody now wants to be feminine. Like women want to be feminine. They don't want to mimic the masculine anymore, right? We don't want necessarily fit in this system, and we want to rediscover ourselves, right? And it's like it's an organic desire. But at the same time, on the other side, this is the challenge that we experience, just something that I'm talking about right now and the way I started the conversation, right? We're still living in the system that's still designed by masculine system and structures, right? So it's not oriented, the system is not oriented to support this our self-expression through embodiment, and unless you are an athlete or dancer or singer, you're like more connected with your body. But many people, right, because of the technology, right, the technology is really developed, we actually are trapped in certain lifestyle, like sitting with our computers, doing stuff, with our laptops, our phones, so much of like head work, thinking, logic, and like not moving our body, being inside our head, too much of mental processing, right? It's like we live in this society and kind of playing by its rules still. So it's really, if you think about it, it's really hard to practice that embodiment on consistent level when you are like trapped in certain lifestyle, when you're like with your laptop, like get excited about it, right? Yes, we can use our imagination, we can be creative, but still it's still a challenge, right? So I do feel it, and I see how even those women who teach like embodiment, who teach feminine consciousness, they still feel pressure to show up, in certain way, to be seen and to to run their businesses, right? They still need to do this for Instagram posts, they need to write on Facebook, they need send the newsletters, and there's so much on the computer. So it is a challenge for every woman these days because of our lifestyle, and also the process of transitioning, of how much we trust and how much we allow ourselves to live from the place of the feminine, right? And we're going to look at this today, right? On the collective and on personal. What is personal is universal. What is universal is personal. So beforehand, I call it the patriarchy within, right? Because how women got free, right? There was a feminist movement. But apparently it was not really feminist movement. It was masculinism movement, because women became like men. They didn't really discover their true feminine power. They didn't start doing things feminine way. They became men because that was the only way they knew at the time how to become successful and free in this society. So women became really masculine. They embodied their inner masculine, their masculinity. And that's how they became successful in the masculine world, right? And at some point these days, right, just recently, a few years ago, we started to experience this huge wave of feminine awakening. It's like, we don't want to do these things this way. We don't want to live like men. We don't want to talk like men. We don't want to work like men. We don't want to run our businesses like men. So how do we want to do it? And that's the process of self-discovery, because when you're trained, when you're born into a system and you were trained to do it in one way, it's really hard to suddenly switch to something you haven't done before. So whatever you're being told on the theoretical level, there is still a process to go to your psyche and, move to the somatic level, to your nervous system, to your emotional body, right? The way of thinking also. And there is a lot of internal conflict still going on, even semi-conscious, conscious level, maybe unconscious, when we still fight within ourselves, between our own inner masculine and inner feminine. And I made video about that with a personal example. So if you're in my Facebook group, you can scroll down and watch that video. So why is it happening? Because we still carry that conditioning, and we have a habit. It's very habitual thing to do, to live from our masculine, right? And our masculine is a dominant, right? That's a kind of a product of feminism, masculism, and when we don't have direct control over it, so we have to be extremely present, extremely alert all the time to scan that masculine dominant energy within ourselves, so it doesn't oppress our inner feminine, right? So, and I will give you some examples as well. I do recommend, many of you have this chart, right, feminine and masculine qualities. I do recommend to work with this consistently, even, when you do your morning meditations or you do your evening meditations. Take this chart and check in with yourself. Are you balanced right now? Is your masculine, with all his qualities, is supporting your feminine? And if your feminine feels open, right? Do you feel like you connected to your intuition? Do you feel you're open to receive, right? Receiving power. Is your heart open, okay, right? Is your emotions available and not oppressed or judged? Can you access the flow states, right? Can you drop into that flow and trust it, right? Or you want to control, right? Linear time. This one is very, very important. Linear time versus cycles of time. The way I run my business is a lot from my feminine, because if I want to create this energetic upgrade and show up in front of all these women I'm connected to, right, the community, I need to be in certain states of consciousness, and that is more important than how much I do each day. The quality is more important than how much I have done. So if I show up and spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes with you in extremely beautiful, high vibrational energy, and show my feminine, open up, connect with you from the heart, it means more if I were to like spend 10 hours like giving you some boring information, right? So that's what it takes. So when you see your day, right, and you feel, oh, I'm not productive, I haven't done enough, are you measuring quantity or quality of whatever your creation, right? Because the feminine can create within like 5 minutes, and it will be a masterpiece. And in 5 minutes you can have that huge shift. If the quality is there, if the presence is there, if connection is there, and if your passion, you're deeply, deeply present, you're not thinking about past or future. Or you want the agenda, done, check boxed, right? So I personally choose to have my feminine days and my masculine days, because yeah, there are still things that have to be done, and I need those spaces where it's timeless. So it's like, it's not linear time when I'm like, okay, by this time I have to be finished. It takes time to open up, access these deeper layers of the feminine, right? And work with them and extract them to get that inspiration, to alignment. So alignment work takes most of my time. And then the moment of creation, once I'm aligned, this is the moment of creation. And this is what I share at the end. But the alignment is working with your own energy, and it's already work, right? So something is not, we don't count it in our masculine society. It's like, what are you doing? Meditating? It's like, so meditation is not just to calm yourself down on and whatever you're trying to achieve there or feel better. It's alignment so you can actually express your genius, to extract the highest potential. And then that highest potential can be expressed within a few minutes, but it would be gold, right? It will be like, oh wow. So this is how it works. And the same, like if you refer to business, this is how you do this feminine business, right? It's like you work on your alignment, then you arrive to those states where you want to be, and you're trying to root yourself there, right? Root yourself so you're not easily distracted, and then you create from that place. And the creation from that place doesn't take much time. It's like minutes, right? That's feminine work. So more time for alignment, less time for creation, but the quality is actually created within a very short period of time once you're aligned. This is the example of working with time, right? Linear time, masculine energy, just make things done, and feminine timelines, circular time, cyclic time, timelessness, right? When you feel you're out of time, out of space-time, and you're in this creative bubble, and you work on alignment, and once you're in the bubble, this is your best work comes to life. And it can be applied also to relationship, of how you show up. Like if you want to attract your new partner, as like this, you have to work on alignment first, and then the miracle happens like within 1 second. It's like a little click in space-time, energetic opening, opportunity. You step into your in your power, you step into the field of opportunity, and this is when everything happens the way, even beyond your expectations.